what's up everybody? Joshua Casper back at you with Loopmasters, and today I'm going to show you how I would go about finding the perfect deep house vocal. So I've got this track started and I'm using all stems and sounds from the new label on Loopmasters called Artisan Audio. I'm going to leave a link to it in the description. If you're into deep house or kind of melodic content in general, highly suggest checking them out. But this is the track I've got going. So all of these stems are taken from the live Deep House Explorations pack. Again, links in the video description. But right now I'm going to use Loopcloud to find the perfect vocal. And I'm going to show you how easy the workflow is. So what I'm going to do is drop Loopcloud into my project. Now Loopcloud is free to download, and if you don't know what it is, there's going to be links in the video description to check it out. But essentially it links up to Loopmasters, and you can browse the store one file at a time while your project is playing, and it'll sync to your project BPM. It'll sync inside of your DAW. You can even process it before you listen or while you're listening. And then you can choose one sample or one loop at a time to purchase using a point system. I'm not going to go into exactly what Loopcloud is. I'm just going to show you how I use it to find this vocal. So I'm going to go ahead and drop it in the track. It's right here. It's a little VST. This essentially is just a VU meter because it's going to sync up to the Loopcloud application. So if I come in here to Loopcloud, this is Loopcloud, and right now I'm looking at my library, and these are all the sample packs I already own. And let's just say I already know I don't have any vocals in here that I want, so what I'm going to do is hit the store button. It's going to connect to Loopmasters, and these are the packs that are already inside of the Loopcloud store. And what I can do now is come into Instruments and choose Vocal. And it's going to show me all of the vocal samples that are available in the massive database. And then I'm going to come over to key and BPM. My track is in the key of A minor, so I'm going to click A minor. Again, it's going to further filter out just the results that I want. And my project is, let's see, it's at 120 BPM, so I'm going to go ahead and go from like 115 to 125, just so I'm not shifting the time too much, you know, getting any artifacting or anything like that. But the algorithm inside of Loopcloud is really good. And another thing, I'm choosing A minor just because I don't want to pitch shift my vocal right now. But if I go through all of these A minor vocals and don't find what I want, I can just use the auto key down here, turn that on, remove this filter system, this filter term right here by just clicking these X's, and it will actually pitch shift any vocal in any key to the key of my track for me right inside of Loopcloud. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and play my track in here, and you'll see that it's connected to Ableton, and then I'm just going to run through these samples until I find one that fits the vibe of my track, and that's how easy it is. So let's go ahead and do that. I'm going to go ahead and play this. All right, so let's say I like that, and I actually like probably all three of them there. A really cool thing about using Loopcloud to find samples, besides the fact that, listen, I'm previewing it in the context of my track while I'm working, is I can actually process these. Now, these are low-quality audio samples, and there are birds chirping in the background. If I play this by itself. So it's a low quality version because we don't want people just sampling them. And there's that bird sound. When I download the high quality version, when I buy the file, it's going to get rid of those, and I'm going to get the high quality version. So it's going to sound better, and those bird sounds will be removed. So anyway, I'm going to come back in, and like I was saying, we can actually process this vocal before I even have to buy it to make sure it's absolutely going to work. So I've got a reverb and some echo down here. I'm just going to turn this on and turn this on as well, just so I can get a better idea of the context of how it's going to sound after I buy it. Okay, so that's kind of crazy. That vocal right there is actually from the Artisan Audio that I was talking about, and that actually is using this. This is from a different pack by them, but that's a pretty sweet vocal. So what I can actually do now is jump in here and find all the Artisan Audio samples. And, you know, I'm still have these other filters. So I'm still looking at A minor, 115 to 125 vocals. So I can actually see if there's anything else in here that sounds really good, because that was a nice vocal. It didn't really fit the track, but let's see what other vocals we have. I'm gonna take you for the ride of your life, the ride of your life. I owe you for the last time. I owe you for the last time. What to do? Give me a seat, and I'll find my way through. Spoke to a dream, I'm sure what to do. Wait, I don't need no messiah. Oh baby, I'll give you a head start. All right, so I'm feeling this one, just so I don't take up too much of your time. But this is essentially the workflow, right? So let's say I like this one. I'm just going to go ahead and bam, 100 points, one item, boom, done. It's in there, showing my library. It's going to download. And now again, I can drag in that processed version or the original. So let's see what it was looking at. It's 120 BPM originally. So I can drag in the original because it's 120 BPM and it's A minor. So there wasn't any processing happening inside of Loopcloud. So I'm going to drag that right inside of there. Oops, that's going to be where Loopcloud was. So I got to come in and drag it on its own channel right there. Come in, minimize. I owe you for the last time. So I can come in and apply my returns. All right, so as you can see there, I just doubled up that first part, which is the part that's really grooving with this instrumental, but that's essentially the workflow I would use when I'm looking for something specific, or maybe just experimenting. I'd drop Loopcloud in there, and just having access to that massive database from Loopmasters, I mean, there's really nothing you can't find using Loopcloud and using the store inside of it. So anyway, I'm Joshua Casper for Loopmasters. I hope you learned something, and we will see you next time.